Hi, everyone. Welcome to day 4, Foundation of Promise. Another fun day of crafts, right? So today, in the story, we learned about Christ's promise. He made a promise. Does anyone remember what that promise was? Great job. He promised to always be with us, right? And we know that Jesus' promises, he always keeps his promises. And his promises are always true. We can rely on that and never be afraid, right? Because what Jesus says, that's how it is. And that's how it's going to happen. So we can rejoice in that, right? Now, look, sometimes when things are hard, we might forget. Um, for a lot of us, it's been a very hard year. None of us expected this, just this unexpected challenge, right? Some of us have had to be quarantined, but even in the midst of that, Christ has been with us. In fact, it was so important that we know that and hold on to that promise. He said it many, many years ago, and one of his disciples recorded it in his gospel, the Gospel of Matthew. Now, who remembers Matthew, right? We learned about Matthew on day 1, right? He was a tax collector, and Christ called him to himself, and Matthew followed him, right? So in Matthew chapter 28, verse 20b, the B means it's like the end of the verse, 20b. Christ tells us, and remember, I am with you always to the end of the age, right? And so today we are going to make a bracelet. It's in your craft bag, and it says on the bottom of the bracelet, He lives. Okay, so I just learned a very important lesson about this craft bag. So what I would suggest is get a pair of scissors, a piece of tape, okay? Then what I would recommend is spelling out on a hard surface the phrase he lives, all right? Now, here's the tricky thing, because I looked everywhere for the piece of stretchy cord that was included in this, and in fact, went and got a string, and the string was too thick to sew, to loop the beads on. Well, lo and behold, as you take your bag out and you slowly open the directions, look at that, a piece of stretchy cord. So there it was the whole time. Okay, so what you should do is tape one end and tape it on, to tape it down so that it doesn't move around as you're putting on your beads, okay? All right, so we're going to be pretty quick. And I don't think I'm going to do all of it on video, but what you're going to do is you're going to start, oh my goodness, my hands are in the way, with a silver bead, okay? And just let it drop down. Then the H, oops, see, they're slippery. Well, they're not slippery, they're just, here we go. We're going to do he lives. So after you string the word he, you're going to take another one of the silver beads and loop that onto your stretchy cord so that it separates the two words. And then you're going to do lives. Okay? So we'll give everybody a chance to thread their beads. I bet you guys are going much faster than I am. I'm almost done. Okay. Now, who remembers what I said to put after the word lives? Did I say yet, or was I saving that? Okay, so after the word lives, you're right. Exactly. We're going to use the last silver bead. There we go. Now, you see that you got a bunch of colored beads, right? I'm going to start with the blue one, and you can do any colored pattern you want. You can use all of the colored beads, you can just use a few of them. There's no wrong answer here. As long as you have the words he and lives spelled out, that's the most important part of that craft, because that's another promise, right? To remember that Christ lives. He did not stay in the grave, he lives. And because he lives, as the hymn goes, we can face tomorrow, right? Our sins have been forgiven, and we will join him in heaven with the Lord one day when Christ returns to earth, or when our earthly life here is finished. So I'm not going to keep doing all of mine um, because it's really pretty simple, but I do want to show you. So here's the bracelet so far. He lives. So what you're going to do, so this part you're going to need someone's help, because what's going to happen is they are going to put the bracelet around your wrist, and they are going to tie it onto your wrist, which I cannot do because I am not that skilled. But in any case, have them tie it in a knot around your wrist. And then if there's any ends, like see if I tie this in a knot right here, and like this is on your wrist, what you'll want to do is tie it in a knot so that it doesn't come undone and all the beads fly everywhere. So after you tie it, just take your scissors and snip real gently so that these tails aren't hanging. And make sure that you don't cut it too close to the knot, because you could accidentally cut the knot and then your string, the cord has been ruined and you might not be able to remake your bracelet. Okay? So that was pretty easy, right? Okay, everyone. I will see you on day 5 for more fun crafts. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.